Hey YouTube, this is Givenup 96 here, and as you guys already know, I'm a huge Spider-Man geek, so I figured, um, right now there's many rumors going on about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and there is some confirmations from this stories being set on their Gwen and Peter's senior year to the actual title, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which to me, I kind of like it, because everything else is using these really, to me, lame puns, like there's Star Trek to Star Trek Into Darkness. It's kind of an interesting title, but I don't see it as this awesome title that's going to make me want to watch the movie. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 seems to be based on a bunch of different comics, like, let's say with the first rumors that started coming out was because Mark Webb tweeted that something about bigger eyes and different, they're gonna advance the web technology. I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. It uh, progresses into different story comics. Mainly, I'm thinking, I believe it's Miller who did that in the 80s. Yeah, Miller. Or McFarlane. I'm pretty sure it's Miller, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, this to me, I think it's a kind of a cool idea, a way to distinguish its character, add more features, get a wider audience, because if you start off with an original type look and then you introduce a new one, you'll get some people in the middle who are mad, but you got the ones that like it because it's like the original, and then you have the ones who are also evolving because they think, oh cool, they have our old Spider-Man back. Well, the Spider-Man we grew up with back. That I think is cool. As time went on, more info came up, like introducing Mary Jane, which the girl from, I forgot her name, but the girl from The Descendants is going to be playing her. This, to me, I really don't care for her, and when I see her, I don't think Mary Jane, but to each their own. With that being said, that brings up the fact that Gwen Stacy has to die. Um, Anybody who has read the comics and stuff knows that that's what happens. So it's not really a spoiler per se, but just it happens. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you know what's going to happen. So there's my thing on that, because I don't know, I was starting to enjoy Gwen, and she's kind of a more meaty character than Mary Jane Watson because of the things that have gone on in previous films and comic books, and I just prefer her. But Mary Jane's coming in now, so much for that character. Gone off course. Another thing being said was Jamie Foxx as Electro. Here's where I want you guys to tell me, what do you think of this move, making Jamie Foxx Electro? I like the idea. At first I hated it, but he might be able to do something with it. But overall, having Electro as a villain, to me, is kind of like it making a Batman villain and having Killer Croc or something as the villain in the movie. It just doesn't work as far as I'm concerned, because they're so minor that there's not much to feed off of. But that's just me. There's a subpar villain that's in a group of 6. Whatever. Uh, that's another just something that bugs me. Next, we're gonna go with Harry Osborn being cast. This was actually really interesting to me because seeing Chronicle, I really wanted to watch Chronicle when I first heard about it, but as I was actually watching the movie, I really couldn't get into it. But one character did stand out, and that's the main character, the one that goes crazy, power hungry, the apex predator kid. Having him cast as Harry Osborn, I couldn't see it, but as I still can't see it, to be honest, but he's the way that it's looking, he's made a good casting choice there. But Harry Osborn, to me, it needs to be played by someone like James Franco. I mean, James Franco made the character lovable, and this kid, you just look at him and you think of Chronicle, he's better. He's typecast as playing that friend that turns evil in the end. So that's just something that's gonna bug me. But tell me what you guys think about that. The fact that Oscorp is this huge conglomerate in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, I think is really cool. It starts off by saying Norman's dying, but he's so powerful. He controls the science development and everything like that. So he's really the monarch, basically, of Spider-Man's world. So it comes down to, when are we actually gonna see Norman? We know we're seeing Harry, and I'm not talking about that flash of lightning BS that is supposed to be Norman. I mean, really see and meet the character Norman Osborn. And I'm curious what they're gonna do with him, because he's kind of if it goes by the lightning and the mysterious guy, he's kind of short, stocky, and old. So I'm like, how can he be this lanky guy, Green Goblin-esque character, and who flies around on a glider and just everything like that? When I seen him, honestly, I thought of the Vulture, but I knew they wouldn't show the Vulture at the end of a film. I mean, then again, I never thought Electro would be a main villain. I'd rather see the Vulture, personally, than Electro as a main villain in a Spider-Man movie. But as I go on, we're coming around to about 3 more rumors. 2 more. The idea that Paul Giamatti is in talks of being, well, I assume he is for sure now because filming has started. Paul Giamatti being the Rhino. I kind of like this idea because if you know a little bit about the Rhino starts off as this scumbag that's a lower guy on the crime syndicate, and he becomes this massive beast. He is a lot like the Juggernaut, as in he just runs in through things and uses his power to intimidate people. But Paul Giamatti in that role, I can see very interesting things happening. Personally, I think he is probably the correct choice. I mean, out of all the actors right now in that age range, I would say Paul Giamatti is the best choice. Tell me who you could see as the Rhino. I'm curious because other than Paul Giamatti, I really can't think of anyone because no one has that kind of charisma about them to be able to play a bad guy and make you like him. And that's something about villains that to me is very important. You have to, at least part of you has to relate or like the villain or understand them. Not like Sam Raimi's movies, those went a little too far on the whole idea of relating to your villain. I didn't care for Raimi's views on the villains and having each one self-sacrifice, kill themselves, or however you want to call it. But anyway, recently, like 2 days ago, I want to say, Mark Webb posted a picture from the production set, and it was a locker number 14. In the Ultimate Comics, Ultimate Spider-Man, locker 14 is where... Locker 14 is where they contain Venom. And it's inside of Oscorp. So, many people are speculating that Venom could be another villain. That's 3 villains in one movie. So I really hope if they are alluding to Venom, I hope it happens at the end and sets up for the 3rd movie, because having it be set up for this movie, personally I think that's a little too many villains for one movie. I mean, look at Raimi. His films couldn't develop each character enough, in my opinion. Which I love Raimi, so it's really hard for me to bash him for anything, but the Spider-Man movies were pretty miserable for as far as I'm concerned. The first one was good, the second one, the third one was bad, just bad. Anyway, more about Venom. Many people are speculating that they're going to have Harry take on the role of Venom because he's been typecast as that character who is slowly being taken over. Now, I shouldn't say taken over, but slowly starts to turn bad. Which is correct there, and he's done it before. The actor has done it before in Chronicle, so I guess that could happen. I personally, as I see it, I can understand if they would take it and make Norman Venom, actually. Think about that. If Norman becomes Venom, they have already established that he's sick and dying. Norman becomes Venom, it'll be like a life support system, in a way. Which to me would be cool. They'll be playing off of the fact that not everything has to be the way it was in the comic book. Which kind of bugs me, but I can deal with it. But to me, the better choice would be have Norman become Venom. Overall, I'd want Eddie Brock to come, but if I have to choose between Harry and Norman, I'm gonna say I want Norman to become Venom. Harry, I can understand because also besides the character being already able to play the role of mental deterioration into thinking he's superior, I also can see, because Disney's Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show had the Venom symbiote bond with Harry, and Norman and Doc Ock were working together on the Venom symbiote, taking the darkest parts of Peter Parker's blood, and that's how the Venom creature was, the Venom symbiote was made instead of doing the space thing. So, with that being all said and done, I want you to tell me some things you feel about the new Amazing Spider-Man movie. What rumors have you heard? What did I not touch on? Who do you think would play better characters? And just tell me what you thought about me talking to this camera and telling you my views on the Amazing Spider-Man. Well, that's from me to you. This is me giving up on the rumors, and I will see you guys later. Give me your info. Have a great night. Have a good one.